This week we're going to talk about Wikipedia and finding research articles. Last week you spent time getting to know ECC in the library and you decided on a research topic and turned in your proposal. This week we'll talk about credible sources and we'll explore the website Wikipedia. Okay, learning outcomes for this week. You're going to create an account on the social bookmarking site Diigo. You're going to use Diigo to bookmark 5 potential web sources for your research project. You're going to summarize the history of Wikipedia and analyze the pros and cons of this site by composing a 150-word initial post that responds to the discussion prompt. And you're going to practice summarizing the same article from different perspectives by completing the They Say Assignment 3. Readings for this week come from both the Norton Field Guide and the They Say text. For Norton Field Guide, you're going to read chapter 44. And for They Say, you're going to read chapter 2. And then at the back of the book, there is a short article called Don't Blame the Eater by David Zinchenko. And you're going to read that, and that'll be part of the summarizing assignment that comes with the They Say assignment for this week. The Wikipedia readings are also a part of this week's readings. You're going to click on this link and read an article called The Hive by Marshall Poe. Then you're going to watch a 90-minute documentary on the truth according to Wikipedia. And finally, there's a brief 5-minute interview between Jon Stewart and Wikipedia founder Jimmy Wales that you can watch. The only additional materials for this week is for you to check out the ECC library databases. If you click on the link, it'll take you to the article databases right here. And you can choose from the ones listed here. I do highly recommend, if you're looking for an article in one site and you can't seem to find what you need, try a different one. All of these databases subscribe to different journals and other publications. And so just because you don't find a lot of information on EBSCO doesn't mean there isn't a lot of information on Gale, for example. Okay, and then we're looking ahead to the next major assignment, which is the summary paper. And the summary paper is going to require you to locate a scholarly article with an argumentative bent. And there's a YouTube video right here that called Research Minutes that will help you learn how to identify scholarly articles. And then there is another link here where I give you a definition of what a scholarly journal article is and what it looks like. And there's a comparison chart on what is a scholarly journal article versus what is a popular magazine article. And so you can look through the characteristics of each, and that should help you better identify scholarly articles for your research project. Okay, the assignments for this week include an initial post for discussion 3 and discussion 4. And then there is an assignment for the Diigo site, which basically this page talks to you about what social bookmarking is. It gives you some ideas of how to bookmark and tag. And then there are some resources on my Diigo site that you can link to. And I'm going to have to check and see why that isn't opening up. But you can set up an account on Diigo. Ah, there it is. So you can set up an account on Diigo. And if you'd like to install the toolbar, that is optional. And if you don't or can't download the toolbar, then here's some instructions on how to bookmark on your site. Ultimately, what you're going to do is play around and get to know the site. What you're going to turn in to me is about a half-page journal entry that talks about whether or not this was a worthwhile experience and how you think you might use Diigo in the future. Now, I do want to say that this assignment is not meant to cause you any anguish or anxiety. Some people, I don't know, for whatever reason, technology is what it is, and sometimes people just can't figure it out, and that's okay. If you've spent, a half hour, 45 minutes trying to figure things out and it's still not working for you, then that's what you put in your journal assignment. Or you can just email me and I can try to help you pinpoint what the problem is. Um, I would say out of every class, there might be one or two people who say, this is a cool resource, or I don't even like this resource and I probably won't use it. But there are a lot of students who find this to be a really useful tool in bookmarking all your articles for this class and for future classes. And so that's why it's important to me that you at least get exposed that you can decide for yourself if this is a tool that you wish to use in the future. And then finally, the They Say assignment for this week is for Chapter 2, The Art of Summarizing. And I'm basically asking you to read the article, Don't Blame the Eater. And then you're going to summarize the essay from two different points of view. So first, you'll read through the article and think about Zinchenko's claim that there are inexpensive and convenient fast food alternatives. And then your second summary would be reading the article with the question in mind of whether or not being overweight is a genuine medical problem or a problem of cultural stereotypes. So it's like you read the article for each point of view, you write a brief summary from each point of view, and then you'll just spend a little time comparing and contrasting the similarities and differences between the two summaries. And this is designed to help you understand that not all summaries are going to be the same. Typically, especially for the research process, when you're summarizing an article, you're summarizing the article in terms of what you're going to be arguing. So there might be a whole section of the article that you completely leave out because you're not focused on that part of the article. You're really only going to be summarizing parts of the article that you think will be useful. And then we have a sample Works Cited entry here. So you want to take a look at that. And then finally, this week's checklist is as follows. Let's move it up. You can say we got the Norton and They Say readings, the Wikipedia readings, the library resources readings, and then links for the discussions and the two minor assignments, the Dago assignment and the They Say assignment. So that's this week's checklist. Next week, we're going to talk more about summarizing and paraphrasing. The main assignment for next week is a draft of a summary that you're going to write for an article that you locate in the databases that is both scholarly and argumentative. And then next week, I will assign peer review partners for the following week when you'll review a classmate's summary and give that classmate some feedback. So that is week 3, and as always, email me if you have any specific questions, and I'll see you online.